Kia ora, my name's Jerome. I've been a part of SAD for a few years now. Today, you're going to be designing a road safety initiative for your school community. So, let's go. Before you start, we would like you to watch 5 short videos which outline the process that NZ Transport Agency uses to design road safety initiatives. So in this first video, I talked to the Director of the Customer Experience and Behaviour Group of New Zealand Transport Agency, Lee Mitchell, about what the Transport Agency does and what sort of communications work best for road safety messages.
Hi Jerome, and welcome to the New Zealand Transport Agency, or NZTA as we're often known. The New Zealand Transport Agency essentially implements government transport policy. What that means is that we're about making sure that the system works for all New Zealanders every day. It's quite a big mandate. It can feel really big some days, but essentially it covers everything from making sure that we have safe drivers through testing and training them, to building roads and tunnels and bridges and the like.
Wow, that's really kind of broad. So how do you wrap this all together?
Well, the first thing that we've done is tie everybody around a single outcome statement, which is creating great journeys that keep New Zealand moving. We apply 3 principles when we're doing this. The first principle is put people at the centre of everything we do. So we're not really about roads and tunnels and trains and things, we're actually about helping people move to where they want to go and live their lives. Our second principle that we apply is think whole transport system. That's really about making sure that everything interconnects. For example, there's no point putting flash new buses on the network if they're not going where people want to go. And thirdly, it's about collaborating or partnering for success. We can't do this alone. We need others to work with to bring their specialties and capabilities for the transport system to work for New Zealanders every day.
Talking of collaboration, how have NZ Transport Agency and SAD been working together so far?
So SAD and NZTA have been working together for a long time, primarily through membership on the board. But you know, the most powerful thing about any collaboration is when you've got a common goal. And NZTA and SAD have a really important common goal, and that's keeping our young people safe on the road. I think you're probably aware that the statistics in that area have not been good. We've been increasing in terms of the number of crashes and the number of deaths and serious injuries amongst our young people on our road year on year since 2013. So it's a really important priority for us to be focusing in this area. NZTA, NZ Police and SAD have been doing that for some time, but we really need to ramp up. And SAD brings a really important skill set to the table when we talk about that. They really know the audience that we're trying to target. They also have experience working with those people on a day-to-day basis. They're familiar. But the main superpower that SAD brings to the party is peer-to-peer influencing. Peer-to-peer influencing is one of the most powerful ways of changing behavioural messaging.
So what would be your top tips around the safety program that works best?
That's a great question, Jerome, and NZTA has learnt a lot over the years from both its successes and its failures. I think there's 4 main tips that I would give. The very first one and the most important one is know your audience. SAD has a head start there, of course, but what we've found is that people respond best to messages or to change if they can see themselves in the picture or the scenario that you're painting. And so really getting to know your audience, how they feel, what they do, who influences them, all that kind of thing is really important and helps you understand how best to engage them. Our number 2 tip would be focus on the positive. So it's often easy to jump to the jolt factor or the shock value, but our research shows that focusing on the positive gets the better results. Focusing on the positive means people go away knowing what to do. Our number 3 tip is to make it interactive. Interactive learning is the stickiest kind of learning, and so we really encourage you to move away from talking at or broadcasting to people to actually creating interactive activities for people. And our final tip is, if at all possible, involve the whole community. So yes, peers are the most powerful influencers or messages to people, but the community can help too. You know, we all make mistakes and we all get lost in a moment and can make poor judgment calls. So really encourage the SAD people to work with the community and involve them if they can.
So that is some great general advice for your projects. make them have regular communications, make them interactive, make them about changing behaviours, and involve the whole school and community. In this next video, I'm going to talk to more people at the transport agencies about how they went about creating real activities and programs that made a difference. Your hard copy pack is going to support you through the design thinking process used at the transport agency. So this breaks it down into 5 stages: problem definition, engaging with your audience, design and build, going live, and monitoring and evaluation.